As you can see, Nick Saban has gave me another chance, and he said the only way that I could be on his roster is if I go down and work my way back up to that first string, and I am third string on that depth chart. He said that he absolutely has no respect for kids that go in that transfer portal, so I'm gonna work my way back up and show him the best I can. And Derek Baduki Jr. is back. Coach said great practice, and you could challenge for that next string next week. On to our first game against Wisconsin. Did not feel good. I mean, Coach Nick Saban was making me ride that bench, and I was paying the piper all day. I mean, I'm gonna be a great team, man. I'm over here rooting my team on, but they are just not moving that ball down the field. I'm doing everything I can. I'm going to stand beside Coach to try to get in that game, but he is just not putting me in the game. And as you can see, we lose the game. Coach just gave me a chance to move out that depth chart and be running back number 2, and I'm gonna take full advantage of it. Finally getting back in that rotation, I'm starting to feel comfortable. And as you can see, I'm laying that boom all day, and I'm not playing. Physical running that I had all day, that right there won me my position battle, but it ended off in style. As you can see, I take it all the way for 6. 2 words, I'm coming. But as you can see, I'm number 2 on that depth chart. On to our next game against 0-1 FCS SC. I mean, some bums. I was still riding that bench, and Coach Saban was getting his point across. Finally got his chance on 2nd and 7, and I took full advantage of it. Derek Baduki Jr. had a 22-yard rush on his first rush back, and he was not here to play. Going to the next play on 4th and goal, I was getting in that box, and I am bad. He cannot get out of complacency. He has to keep his foot on that pedal. But on 1st and 10, as you can see, he goes and lay that boom on him. Oh my God, he ran him over. As you can see on 1st and 10, Derek Baduki Jr. was taking full advantage of all of his reps, and he was getting big gains every time he touched the ball. Going to win, and I end the game off with 16 carries, 156 yards, and 1 rushing TD. Coaches gave me another chance to move up that depth chart and be running back number 1. And I'm coming out here for respect, and I lay that boom early on to make him look like a fool early. Derek Baduki Jr. has to earn his respect some way, and as you can see, he hit that hole, and he breaks about 3, 4, 5 tackles, and he's still breaking tackles, and he will go all the way for 6, and his respect should be given. On in practice, he still didn't give up. He was hitting those holes all night, juke and weaving to get into that end zone with bad intentions and not giving up. I have finally earned Nick Saban's trust back, and I am now number 1 on that depth chart after outworking all of those running backs. Going into our first game against 0-2 Texas A&M, I started off intense. I had an inside zone, and I ran him over, and I was fighting for yards early. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, we have a sweep, and I will hit that outside and get that first down. As you can see, Derek Baduki Jr. was starting to feel it a little bit. On 2nd and 13, as you can see, he tried to run him over. He breaks 2 tackles, and he will hit that outside, but he gets brought down. We are marching down that field, but on 3rd and goal, as you can see, the quarterback dunks it off to the fullback, and we go in for 6. Grown man plays grown man football. On 1st and 10, as you can see, Derek Baduki hits that outside, and as you can see, he throws the defender off of him and throws the ball at him. He has 0 respect for him, but on 1st and 10, as you can see, he hit those holes and run him over and get in the end zone with bad intentions. He is heating up on 2nd and goal. As you can see, he goes in for his 2nd touchdown of the game. We're going into the next play on 1st and 10, doing what he does best, catching that ball out of the backfield. It was nearly an interception, but he jukes, breaks a tackle, and get up that field to get that first down. He is not here to play, but going into the next play on 2nd and 9, he has a counter play and hits that outside, and he has 1 man to beat, but he gets blocked, and he will go all the way for 6. He is fired up, but on 1st and 10, he hits that middle, and he will go all the way. Derek Baduki Jr. goes all the way for 6. I mean, we are running all over Texas A&M defense, but on 3rd and 9, I hit that hole, bouncing back outside, and as you can see, I will go all the way, but he hits me and bring me down to that ground. We go on to win the game, but I end the game off for 26 carries, 376 yards, and 4 total TDs. On into our next game against Colorado State. Started off intense on 2nd and 9. As you can see, I had an inside zone, and I hit that hole, and I was going for 10 and more. Going into the next play on 3rd and 8, we had a screenplay, and I catch that ball, and I trip myself up, and I pick it back up, and I break a tackle, but I step out. Going into the next play on 2nd and 8, I find a hole, and I sneak through that hole, and as you can see, I break 1 tackle, get him off of me, and I will get tackled. On 1st and goal, you know who to get that ball to. Derek Baduki Jr. He will carry the pal in for 6. He was fired up, but going into the next play on 2nd and 3, he hit that inside zone, hit that hole, and made sure to lower that shoulder. He got a pretty big game, but on 1st and 10, he lays that boom. Oh my God, he ran him over, and he goes outside and will go all the way and dive for 6. Things go downhill on 1st and 10. The quarterback tries to pitch it to me and fumbles it for a turnover. Going into the next play on 4th and 1, I am a grown man. I will run you over, and I will drag you into that end zone for 6. To put the icing on the cake on 2nd and 5, I bounce it outside, and as you can see, I lay that boom on him, run him over, but I get knocked out of bounds. We're going to blow them out and win the game, and as you can see, I get player of the game with 27 carries, 228 yards, and 3 total TDs. On into the next game against 1-2 Ole Miss. Started off intense. I had a screenplay on 3rd and 10. As you see, I catch that ball out of the backfield, and I gave him the meanest stiff arm to try to fight for 10, but I didn't get there. I'm so much of a threat catching that ball out of the backfield. I break a tackle. I juke, get up that field on 1st down and got a big game. Just look how elusive Derek Baduki Jr. is on 1st and 10. He is fighting for yards to get a 17-yard rush. On that goal line, Derek Baduki Jr. is a threat, so he goes in for 6. To the next play on 2nd and 6, as you can see, I hit that hole, and this DB is coming down, but I lay that boom on him, and I run him over, and I keep pushing up that field, but I run out of bounds. And down to the that goal line on 2nd and 4. As you can see, I get that ball and I'm just out running defenders for 6. We have now stretched the lead 14-10, but going to the next play on 1st and 10, I break a tackle and almost get in there, but I get tackled. On 3rd and 1, I catch that ball at the backfield, I run him over and go in. And we are breaking this defense apart. On 3rd and 3, I have an outside counter, and as you can see, I'm running that ball as hard as I can to get some yards. As you can see, we go on to win the game, and I get player of the game with 26 carries, 211 yards, and 3 total TDs. Going into our next game against 2-1 Arkansas State, I mean, it started off intense. I was running them over and getting to that first down with bad intentions. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I hit that hole like juke, making a miss, and I get to that outside, and I will go, but I get tackled. That was a pretty big game, but going into the next play on 1st and 10, I mean, I'm just outrunning defenders, and I'm just running that ball as hard as I can, and I'm gonna stay relentless. But on 1st and goal, I absolutely made him do a split. Going into the next play on 2nd and 13, I'm catching that ball out of that backfield. I run him over, but they bring me down. You can't keep me down for long. Going into the next play on 2nd and 2, I hit the hole like juke, bounce it back left side, and I will go all break one tackle, and I will go all the way. Derek Paducci Jr. is going for 6. That was a pretty long run, but on 1st and 10, I want more. Catching that ball out of that backfield, I go in again for 6. Going into the next play on 2nd and 9, I have a counter, and I hit it outside, and I have nothing but that sideline, and I'm gonna fight for that touchdown, but I'm just short. Going into the next play on 4th and 5, it's 35-17, and I want more points on that board. So as you can see, I dive for 6. We're going to blow them out, and I get player of the game with 23 carries, 246 yards, and 2 total TDs. Into the next game against 3-3 Kentucky, I mean, I break a tackle early on, and I get to that first down with bad intention. Early on 3rd and 1, I was running that ball hard. I was throwing them off of me, as you can see, and I was breaking tackles, and I was trying to get up that field. Derek Paducci Jr. is a load to bring down, but on 1st and 10, as you can see, he is running through defenders, and he is getting to that first down. Going into the next play on 3rd and 10, as you can see, he runs those routes the best, and he catches that ball in the back. He throws them off of me, and he will go, but he gets pushed out of bounds. Going into the next play on 3rd and 10, I have a screenplay, and the quarterback dumps it off to me, and as you can see, I get up that field with bad intentions, and I outrun him, and I will get in that end zone backwards. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I hit that hole, I find a crease, and as you can see, I have one man to beat, and I try to go back inside, but he brings me down. I almost broke, but when you get to that goal line, I have an outside counter. You know who to get that ball to. Derek Paducci Jr. will go in for 6. Going into the next play, I have a jet counter on 1st and 10. As you can see, I hit that hole, and no one was there, and I go in for another one. We're going to kneel the ball and end those boys off, but I get player of the game with 36 carries, 228 yards, and 2 total TDs. Going into our next game against 1-6 Arkansas, as you can see, we started off intense on 3rd and inches. I was pushing the pass. Going into the next play on 2nd and 7, I boomed him, ran him over, and I hit that left sideline. As you can see, look at the speed that Derek Paducci Jr. has, and he will go all the way for 6. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I bounce it outside. I boomed him. I'm giving him headaches all night, and I will go for that first down. The hard running is unbelievable, but on 1st and goal, I get that ball, and I will tote it in for 6. Going into that next play on 1st and 10, I have a counter play, and I have one man to beat, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to run through him, but he brings me down to that ground. Going into the next play on 3rd and 13, as you can see, I'm weaving through those holes, and I almost find a way, but he shoestrings me. And I about broke. But going into the next play on 2nd and 15, I catch that ball out of the backfield, and I just outrun him, and I will go all the way for 6. Going into the next play, I have inside zone. I bounce it outside, and the outside is my best friend, and as you can see, I go for 17. Put the icing on the cake. As you can see, I bounce it outside, and I will go in for another touchdown. We go on to win the game, and as you can see, I get player of the game with 33 carries, 301 yards, and 3 total TDs. Going into our next game against 3-5 Tennessee. Start off intense. I catch that ball out of that backfield, and I get up that field and run him over with bad intent. Going into the next play on 2nd and 4, as you can see, I have a counter, and I hit that left sideline, and I will get gone, but he brings me down. Going into the next play on 2nd and 10, I hit that hole, and I mean, it was so wide open, and I hit that left sideline, and I could go, but he brings me down. Going into the next play on 2nd and goal, you know to get that ball to Derek Paducci Jr. with the touchdown. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, as you can see, I'm breaking tackles, and I will fight for that first down. On 1st and goal, we get back down there, and I punch that ball in. Going into the next play on 2nd and 8, as you can see, I break one tackle and get up that field with bad intentions, and I lower my shoulder for more yards. That's 24-7, and to put that icing on the cake, 1st and goal, you know who gets that ball, Derek Paducci Jr. with another touchdown. We going to win the game, and I end the game off of 35 carries, 251 yards, and 3 total TDs. Going into our next game against 5-3 LSU, we always have a problem with LSU, and we start off a little slow. They tackle me for tackle for loss. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I have to set the momentum, so I was trying to get up that field with bad intentions. I'm breaking tackles to show them that I'm here. Just when things get good on 1st and 10, I run into my fullback, and I just fall down. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I have an inside zone, and I hit that hole, and I get a ton of yards. I really wanted more, but going into the next play on 2nd and 17, I do what I do best. Catch that ball out of the backfield, I juke, make a miss, and I get up that field with bad intentions, and I will go all the way for 6. And I'm just getting started, but going into the next play on 1st and 10, I have a counter play, and I get up that field, and I break one tackle, and he will go block him, and I will go, but I get tackled at the 1. On 3rd and 2, you know they go get that ball to all the end of the game, but as you can see, I get player of the game with 25 carries, 217 yards and 2 total TDs. On to our next game against 3-6 Mississippi State. As you can see on 2nd and 5, I break 1 tackle and I get to that first down with bad intention. On to the next play on 1st and 10. As you can see, I bounce it outside, I run him over, and I will get up that field. But as you can see, I get pushed out of bounds. As you can see, we march down that field, and on 1st and goal, I punch that ball in. Derek Paducah Jr. Going into the next play on 3rd and 5. As you can see, I have a stretch play, and I am just running through everybody and fighting for y'all. Going into the next play on 2nd and 2. As you can see, we have an inside zone, and I punch that ball in for 6. Going into the next play on 2nd and 2. As you can see, we have a counter play, and I get up that field, and I juke, and I get to that left sideline, and I will go all the way, but I get pushed out of bounds. And when I say I'm a coast-to-coast runner on 2nd and inches, I hit that hole right up the middle, and I will go all the way for 6. Derek Paducah Jr. We're going to win the game, and I end the game off for 32 carries, 264 yards, and 3 total TDs. Into our next game against 8-3 Auburn. As you can see, I'm catching that ball out of that backfield early on, and I'm juking and weaving and getting to that first down with bad intention. Going into the next play on 1st and 10. Look at how explosive I hit that hole and go and get that first down for my team. Going into the next play on 1st and 10. As you can see, every time I touch that ball, I will go for 10 or more, nevertheless. But going into the next play on 3rd and 4. As you can see, I break a tackle early in that backfield. I break another tackle, and I hit that sideline, and I will go for 6. Going into the next play, as you can see, it's 2 seconds before halftime, and I catch that ball out of that backfield on 1st down, and I break a tackle, and I hit that left sideline, and I will go all the way. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, we have a read option, and he pitches that ball to me, and I break 1 tackle, and I hit that left sideline. You know I'm dangerous when I get on that left sideline, and I will go for a big rush. Nail the ball and end him the old-fashioned way, but I get player of the game with 34 carries, 288 yards, and 2 total TDs. On to our next game against number 9, 11-1 Florida Gators. As you can see, I have an outside counter, and I juke and get up that field with bad intentions. Oh my God, I made him miss, and I break a tackle, and I finally get pushed out of bounds. This is the conference championship. I'm going home with a trophy, but on 2nd and 6, oh my God, I'm getting up that field, and as you can see, look at the burst of speed that Derek Paducah Jr. has. We are down 7, so we have to attack back, and on 2nd and 8, I am breaking tackles to try to get in that end zone. On to the next play on 1st and 10, I have a sweep play, and as you can see, I always outrun everyone. You cannot compete with me, but as you can see, I'm doing down that sideline. I lay that boom on him. Oh my God, I ran him over. He felt every bit of me, but on 3rd and goal, I punched that ball in for 6. On to the next play on 2nd and inches. As you can see, I hit that hole, and oh my God, I bounced it outside, and I am loving that outside all game. This defense is having trouble with me all game, and they finally get me down. Going to that next play on 2nd and 9, I'm going to keep giving them trouble all night, and I'm just going to outrun them for another one. This 4th quarter with 2 minutes left to go, and it's 28-28, and you know who they're going to get that ball to. Derek Paducah Jr. takes his team up 35-28. We nailed the ball to end those boys off, but I get player of the game with 35 carries, 358 yards, and 2 total TDs. As you can see, we are SEC conference champions, and Coach Saban is holding that trophy up, and I'm holding it with him because he brought me back, and I told him we was going to do it. As you can see, I did not get Heisman. I was the runner-up. I go on to get the Robert Maxwell Award, and I also get the Walter Camp Award, and I also get the Doak Walker Award. As you can see, this is the playoff bracket, and we have made it to the playoffs, and we will play against Houston. On to our next game against 12-0 Houston in the playoff round number 1 game. As you can see, on 1st and 10, I was intense and trying to get to that first down. On to the next play on 1st and 10. As you can see, I have an outside zone. I hit the outside. I juke, and I break 1 tackle, and I will go break another tackle. I break another one, and I finally get brought down. Going into that next play on 3rd and 2. As you can see, I bounce the outside again, and I break another tackle, and I will go all the way for 6. I was fired up with my teammates because we want to go to that national championship. But on 1st and goal, you know I'm going to punch that ball in for another one. Going into that next play on 1st and 10, as you can see, I bounce it back into that inside, and I will fight for that first down. I'm not going to lie. Houston defense was rallying that ball. I break 1 tackle, but they were all coming. To the next play on 1st and 10, I have a counter, and I bounce it outside, and as you can see, I juke and get up that field, and I boom him. Oh my God. I absolutely obliterated him. But going into the next play, as you can see, I hit that hole, and I bounce it outside, but they shoestring me before I got loose. Going into overtime, as you can see, they're up by 7, and we need to score in this 4th down, and we did not. He did not throw it my way, and I was frustrated. As you can see, Houston will go on to advance to that next round, and we will go home. I end the game off for 37 carries, 255 yards, and 2 rushing TDs. As you see, Clemson and Houston will play in the national championship, and this is the end of Derek Paducah Jr.'s career. I mean, I don't know what's next for him. Will he be a top prospect in the NFL draft? I don't know. Drop in the comments down below what you think is going to happen, and drop in the comments down below what road to glory do you guys want to see next.